So when I think about delivery in the fraction context, this is to no small extent project management and making sure that folks are, well, getting the work done, work on the right cadence, that there are no blockers, all of those usual project management things. And it turns out that the source for all of this information, again, is the AI meeting transcripts. And that's not just on the fraction side, that's also on the client side. Who was missing and what risk does that pose? So that's a very easy check. But then two, so you have attendance, but then you have like, how deep did the call actually go? If it's a technical delivery, then there's an expectation of periodic demos really on a weekly cadence. Like, hey, did new functionality or whatever was being worked on, did that get presented or not? So that's an easy thing to check for from a transcript perspective. Did this happen or not? And then you get into a more complex concept where, you're going to have some false negatives and false positives whenever you get into sentiment analysis. But this is, client sentiment. How did they feel on the call? What's the perception of how it went? You're not going to get this right all the time. Frankly, humans don't get this right all the time, right? But if there's an extreme sentiment, it should be easy to pick up on, and you can flag these things. Of course, a skilled project manager will try to pick up on all of these things as well, and a whole heck of a lot more. But the truth is that in juggling multiple projects, that little bits, little notes, in particular, the silly stuff that seems like it's not a big deal, these ones, they're actually early warning signs. When they aren't happening, when they stop happening, they're early warning signs for trouble to come. And so they don't always get picked up on, but it's very easy to automate, those sort of easier checks. Another thing here, I'm going to misnumber here and I'm going to go to 0, but it's kickoff knowledge transfer. So one of the issues that we've seen is that getting sales time to actually properly transfer knowledge over from a delivery perspective for kickoff can be challenging. And for that matter, even if you tap the salesperson or whoever was speaking to the client, you're not necessarily getting a first-hand view. So this goes back to something I mentioned earlier, which is highlight reels. You really want to hear directly from the customer on what it is that they are looking for, but can you successfully sift through maybe sometimes north of an hour's worth of footage to figure that out? Or can you do it from a highlight reel where it's 5 minutes and then the delivery team is getting the information they actually need, hearing directly from the customer in order to make sure that they're starting off on the right foot and not guesswork on day one. So all different ways. A lot of this is driving off of, again, using generative AI to capture information from meetings in a way that wasn't possible before.